Back on Foxborough Rush, George Balekji Annabelle Hasselbeck. All right, Annabelle, all the talk we have, and it's all about the draft. We're in that dead period of the NFL offseason. I think, let's address the elephant in the room, right? And it's at the point where we keep talking about these rookies from the time they were drafted to leading up to the draft to after in camp. What are they going to do? We're going to keep talking about that ad nauseum. I like that NFL.com from Gennaro Felice. He put out an article of his all-rookie team and who will have the biggest impact. Kyle Williams of the Patriots. Surprising enough, with all the receivers that were taken before him, he makes this list. That says a lot to me about Kyle Williams. Do you agree? You think he is a guy that will have such a big impact that he could be all rookie? And this is with Ted McMillan. Travis Hunter will be interesting to see what he classifies as, right? Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Emeka Egbuka, who's going to be so big for Tampa Bay, Luther Burden with Chicago. But he put Kyle Williams as a guy that he sees being all rookie. Do you understand, or I guess, agree with I could see that happening, and that's a guy that's capable of it?
Yeah, well, that's a stacked room that you just named. So yeah, it's a little surprising to see the third rounder in this group of 11, but it'd be great. Let's go. It's great for the Patriots if they can get that out of Kyle Williams, and it's a really talented wide receiver room. But the big question we've been asking, all offseason, who's going to step up, right? We thought it would be Diggs, and it still definitely can be, but then we're bringing Terry McLaurin into the conversation, right? And so I think it would be awesome if Kyle Williams can definitely be that guy, and he's toasted guys like Travis Hunter on the film. Those are some of his highlight reels. So you definitely know that he has that ability to get open and, make plays. And Steve Smith, old Carolina Panthers wide receiver, even said that he reminds him of himself. So definitely a lot of high praise for Kyle Williams. So you know what? If we're saying it, it's awesome. Let's go.
I love you bringing back in the Terry McLaurin combo. I mean, again, that's someone the Patriots need to get. But with a guy like Kyle Williams, I see it because, and the reason the Patriots need to get someone like a Terry McLaurin, right? If you can trade for him, he just wants to get paid, and it'll take a second or third round pick. You pull the trigger, is because look at the wide receiving room. Stephon Diggs coming off the torn ACL. We'll keep saying it. Looks good, but he's coming off the torn ACL. And honestly, the stuff off the field, will he be quiet enough that Mike Vrabel will tolerate him and want him in the locker room? Kendrick Bourne, up there in age. Pop Douglas, good, but an undersized slot for a Josh McDaniels offense. And Pop Douglas is a guy that doesn't run block. It's not his strength. He's good. He's shifty. He's a gadget player. Kyle Williams will have the usage. He'll have the significant role. And he's a guy that blends perfect for Drake May's game. Good down the field receiver, good middle of the field receiver, and a smart, good route running, is great with the ball in air and fighting for it at the catch point. Yeah, sure, he comes in undersized. You see him in person, though. He looks a lot bigger than what he's listed at. What stands out to me with Kyle Williams, his advanced route running, his understanding of footwork, he gets leverage. And when the ball is in the air, how he attacks it at the catch point is what his strengths are. And I think that's important for a guy where Drake May is going to have to depend on him. Josh McDaniels will throw a lot at him, but knows how to get the most out of his guys. But again, when you look at the rest of the receiving room, he could be the most talented guy in that room. That's a lot to say about a third-round pick. It's a lot to say about a rookie.
That's a lot to say. That is a lot to say. But you know what? It really just depends on the chemistry with Drake May and that trust with Drake May. And it's going to be competitive. Mm-hmm. So, you hope that in those competitive environments, people's best rise to the occasion. You have to, you can't be complacent. You want to be the first person in drills. You want to be working in your off time. It's going to be really hard. You got Pop, Diggs, Hollins. Maybe if he rubs off on him enough, he'll be walking around barefoot. We don't know. So I think people are going to rise to the occasion, and it's going to bring the best out of these guys.
Yeah. And it's a great point with the chemistry. I mean, because everything you read, Kyle Williams staying on the field, Drake May after, building that. That's a connection they hope to have. What Josh Downs was at UNC for Drake May, that's what Kyle Williams could be in New England for Drake May. And what will come with it is not just the chemistry and the usage and the role, but the stats. And again, if you are just putting up significant stats for a rookie wide receiver, that's what will get you onto the all-rookie team as well. And here was Kyle Williams. He was talking about his mindset as he's going up against Christian Gonzalez every day in practice for the Patriots. Check it out right here.
My mindset is don't drop the money. You know what I'm saying? So every time the ball is there, it's a bag of money. We can't let that hit the floor because that's somebody else's. So just being able to make those plays, just showing that I compete against those top-tier guys against the league, and it makes me excited because Gonzo is, I think it's an iron sharp and iron thing. So going against Gonzo is going to help me and better my game.
Love that. Hey, just don't let the ball hit the ground. Ball's in the air, it's his. But that's also, too, is it's every day in practice. This is a guy that's going to line up on the outside. He's either going against a Christian Gonzalez or a Carlton Davis because he's taking reps with the ones, likely going against the ones. And that is something that'll help a rookie come along from the coaching, the chemistry. We can talk all about that. It's a competition he's going to see every day in practice, Annabelle.
Yeah, well, he said, don't drop the money. And right when he said that, I thought of that TikTok trend, like, give me the money. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Did you get pranked
Where
on it?
everyone fakes it and then one person doesn't know.
I was safe from it.
But it's the value of the ball that's being preached to a rookie. And that's what matters for these guys. And someone like Kyle Williams has the capability, has the talent, has all those traits that you want in a receiver. And coming in with a third-round tag and maybe a question mark, but I can see it. Two people not on the list maybe jumped out to Patriots fans on this list from NFL.com. No Travion Henderson, more significant, no Will Campbell. And I understand it, but also if Will Campbell turns out to be the starting left tackle the Patriots need, not just want, but need, this guy should be all rookie because he's going to have so much responsibility for this offense. The two guys ahead on the list, Armand Membu, he's a starting right tackle for the Jets. Josh Simmons, if his knee is okay, he'll be the starting left tackle for the Chiefs. But if Will Campbell works out at left tackle and he hits his ceiling on what he can be, it'll be such a significant role for the Patriots. He needs to be the anchor on that left side. To me, that would be an all-rookie-esque performance over a Josh Simmons over an Armand Membu because of how much the Patriots are going to be relying on Will Campbell.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, we want him to do really well, but I think just for the purposes of who he picked and who the writer picked in this, he already picked two running backs. He was like, okay, I probably don't want to, pick an O-lineman. I'd rather, pick a wide receiver. It's probably the more fun option, right? So I think that's probably why Will Campbell wasn't on this list and Travion Henderson. But there's also probably another real reason why Travion Henderson wasn't on this list. I did a little bit of digging, and the writer who wrote this for NFL Network, where did he go? Looked at his LinkedIn. He went to Michigan. Who does he not want? A lot of Ohio State guys. He already had an Ohio State lineman. He's like, all right, I can't have more OSU guys than Michigan guys. So you never know. Those personal rivalries, man, they last with you forever. I know I'm guilty of it sometimes, for sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't put anyone from Notre Dame on your all NFL list.
I don't know.
Happening,
I don't
right?
know. Yeah, I like all people, but yeah, that's definitely a rival of mine for sure.
What's the biggest BC rival? It has to be Notre Dame, right? Or does it depend on sport?
You know what? It depends on sport. I'd like to say that I think BC thinks that Notre Dame's our rival, but Notre Dame doesn't really think that. For women's lacrosse, I'd say, which is what I played, our rivals are UNC and Northwestern. So a little bit different.
All right, good rivals to have, good programs, good all that. I love the investigative reporting, by the way. Add that to your resume, please, because going into the LinkedIn depths on this, seeing he's a Michigan guy. The two running backs I made, Ashton Ginty, RB1, RJ Harvey, RB1, and in a Sean Payton offense, where Travion Henderson, and everyone gets caught up. Who's a starting running back? He's going to be more in a timeshare type role. Ramondre Stevenson is first and second down when you need to run the ball. Travion Henderson will be more of a versatile piece, lining up all over on formation, can run routes out of the slot, can run routes out of the backfield, could line up in the backfield next to Ramondre Stevenson in the shotgun. He's more of an all-around player, won't get the same volume or touches as a Harvey or a Ginty, so that makes sense. And also, it makes sense, too. He went with Josh Simmons, who is a left tackle. He went with Armand Membu, who is an offensive tackle. All the NFL measurables, all the experts go, Will Campbell is going to be a guard. Look at his lack of wingspan. So that's where I also understand on him being left off this prediction of an NFL rookie team, where he's like, I'm going to go with the guys that play the position and the guys that will have that role too. But yeah, I bet the Michigan bias comes in a little bit too, AB.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And it's also just about that immediate impact that's super visible, right? And so I think that's why he probably went with wide receiver and Ashton Ginty and the other running backs that he went with, because, you're going to have a guy like Travion Henderson. He's not coming in and expected to carry the whole load, right? He's that home run hitter that's going to come in and give us a little change up on offense for the Patriots. So I think when he's looking at that holistically, it's probably who's going to be that people are going to the pro shop and buying their jersey after watching a few games.
And also want to point out, though, that the Patriots kicker, Andy Boragales, he made the all-rookie special teams team. So, look, I think that's kind of what is it? Who checks a box, right? Who is the team that will have a rookie starting kicker? By all means, it's pointing to the Patriots will have it. feel like that's an easy choice here. You're going with the rookies. I'm not going to act like I know how to pick an all-rookie special teams team, especially when it comes to gunners and coverage guys. But Andy Boragales, good kicker from Miami, not Michigan. Sounds like he's like, yeah, I'll adapt to the cold, no problem. And again, special teams was an area, everywhere was an area of needed improvement for the Patriots. Andy Boragales adds to that. So he was someone that was looked at as, yeah, we'll predict him to make the all-rookie team. Just funny ad for the Patriots. Everyone's like, why are they drafted a long snapper. They drafted a kicker. Land Larson, we could see him have contributions as a punt returner and a gunner. And they're saying Andy Boragales might be one of the best Patriots players to make the all-rookie team, too.
Yeah, hey, it's super interesting. You don't normally see kickers get drafted, and it's very rare, especially, he's probably going to start. And like you said, he went to Miami. Can he kick in the cold? That's a real thing. But I think it's exciting. And you can really see, okay, this new regime of the Patriots with Mike Vrabel, they're really redoing everything. They're going to the kicker and the long snapper. But this guy's awesome. I mean, it shows that the Patriots have a lot of faith in him. He absolutely balled out at Miami. He had 116 points last season. And I don't know about you, but I kind of think the Patriots could use 116 points coming from their kicker. So it's pretty incredible. And
yes.
I actually saw his Instagram username. It's nolimit.andy. And I'm like, all right, let's see those 50-plus field goals if, there's no limit. So I'm excited about it. He's proven it in minicamp. He's proven it, what he did in college. So I think it's a great get. So definitely, surprising to see in a draft, especially in the situation that we're in. But I think it's exciting because, you never know the impact that those kickers can have.
Yeah, at his pro day, too, just wowing during his workout, just hitting absolute nukes, attempting field goals as well. So, again, something he'll bring to it. All the rookies they have, who do you think will be the most impactful for the Patriots this season? To your point, a kicker could tie it all together on special teams, give them points they need. Kyle Williams could be the guy that unlocks his passing game. Joshua Farmer can add a lot when it comes to the pass rush. Will Campbell could do great at left tackle. Travion Henderson can add to the offense. A lot of rookies that will be starting. Who do you think will be the most impactful for them, Annabelle?
Well, I think when you talk about Drake May, and the whole emphasis last season was how do we protect him? We don't want to throw him in with a tough old line and him get hurt. So that was the huge emphasis last year. Was the crux of all of our conversations. And so I want to say Will Campbell because I want to be like, yeah, man, you're going to come in and you're going to do what you said. I'm going to protect my quarterback till I die, right? But I think when you think about just production, I'm going to go with this kicker because of the amount of points that he has the opportunity to score just right off the bat. You're given the opportunity. You know that he's going to be put in these positions to succeed and to have the opportunity to really make an impact for the Patriots this season.
Hey, I love that pick. As you alluded to start it, though, I just got to go to Will Campbell here. He will have the biggest impact on this entire team, I think, out of any single player. It's Drake May. How good is your quarterback? That determines the success. But they have to protect him. And Will Campbell doesn't have just the responsibility of starting, but starting a left tackle and performing above his measurements, performing as an anomaly of what he can be. Because, again, it's all, the arm length talk. It was the wingspan. And this is a guy that has a sub 78-inch wingspan. No starting left tackle last year in the NFL. An actual starting left tackle had a sub 80-inch wingspan. Joe Thuney was starting at left tackle in an emergency role for the Chiefs. Great. He has 79.5-inch wingspan, I believe, off the top of my head. Will Campbell will be the most impactful rookie for this Patriots team because if he executes at left tackle, ties this offensive line together, protects Drake May, run blocks for Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson, lets this offense operate in a Josh McDaniels system, he will have the biggest impact out of everyone in New England. It has to be Will Campbell. They're the guys with the rules. To your point, Andy Boragales, can the special teams execute? Can the Patriots get points when they're in the red area? Can they get points when they're beyond the 40 and in their opponent's territory? That'd be huge because if this defense is top 5, top 10, and you're just getting points, you'll win because they were missing out on that. So I love the Andy Boragales pick. To me, it just comes down to Will Campbell. Can he be a left tackle? And if he's average, if he's just average, that will be so much better than what we saw last year because this offensive line was a mess for them, Annabelle.
Yeah, well, Will Campbell, when he was asked about, how he plays, he said, well, why don't you ask my quarterback, Jaden Daniels? And so I think that would kind of be the confidence that he has in coming into this season. Yes, people are talking about his wingspan and his metrics and how it's different. But I really do think as a player, when people start commenting on those parts of you, that's when you take it to the next level. Also, he's probably heard that a lot of his life, right? And so I think it's more too about that relationship with Drake May that he has and the ability to protect him, like he says. But you pulled out some other guy's wingspan. You're like, off the top of my head, this guy's wingspan. I'm like, George, I don't know how you know these things. It is impressive.
The time I spent, like, I wish, like, I'm doing this show from my brother-in-law's office. He's a lawyer, very successful, like, awesome, smart dude, brilliant dude. I wish I could take, like, the amount of care I have for wingspans. And if I took into law, maybe I'd be a lawyer. But you know what? Following the passion, following what I love, and it's wingspans of offensive linemen. It's just because people could tell me, and it's how I'm wired. I can't just hear what I need to know. I need to hear why. I know there are people like generation above us. Why people? They're like, oh my God, they roll their eyes. Look, the sky's blue, but why is it blue? That's what I need to know. Why is Will Campbell's wingspan a possible liability? I need to know why, and that's what drew me to Joe Thuney, because I wish I knew why. Now I'm brain dumping on everything when it comes to the wingspans.